Back here on PALS TV, everyone. Had a great morning with Steubenville. Each Wednesday, we always look forward to these segments. Our friends at Together We Grow have been doing this in season 2, and we're on season 10 now. So they've been great partners and gave us so many helpful tips to do in our own gardens. So we're very thankful for them and everything they do. And they'll be joining us today with Sarah and Kim again, and then Dan will be with them. We're very happy to have Dan back and hope he's feeling well now. And then Sarah, Tim, Lauren, Alan, and Brittany will also be hanging out with you. So really looking forward to this segment and the group at Together We Grow Gardens. Sarah?
All right, can you hear us?
Good.
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, Sarah, you're on.
I'm on. Hi guys, we are back at 6th Street today. We have some of your sponsors with us, and Sarah's here, and Lou, Kim is filming, Lou, and then we have our garden director here, Dan.
Yay, Dan's back.
So Dan has done a lot of work here, and it's changed so much since last year. So we'll kind of just walk through and show you. I know a month ago we did a tour with Dan too, and things have really taken off, and we probably have some vegetables around here, I think, right? That we can show you. And we're just going to show you the updates. So we're going to just kind of walk around and show you what's going on.
Hey, Kim, I think the picture actually turned on its side.
Should I do it this way?
Yeah, you could do it that way. That'll work. Thank you.
Okay.
So on our little tour.
Okay, let's just turn around and look at the sunflower port.
Sunflower port.
So our sunflowers are getting pretty big. Pretty soon we're going to be able to camp out right now. So here's our sunflower port, and this is in the children's garden. This has all been updated this past summer with the fencing. We have some cute little picnic tables over here. And the kids, we had our children's event, and the kids had planted some peppers. So we had a children's garden event, and the kids came and got to plant 2 to 5-year-olds. Pretty amazing. Planted some peppers. That okra was there, I think. So there's our raised garden beds for the kids. It was super cute. It's their size, so they can get in there and plant.
Oh, and look how our petunias are growing in the tires.
I know, they're so pretty. We have some cute little things Pam, the executive director, put up with tires.
Let's see, what are the flowers in the tires here? We have nasturtiums.
Yeah, nasturtiums and
Zinnia and marigolds. Yeah. And they're all edibles.
Yep. Did you plant this, Kim?
Yep.
Okay, Kim planted it.
Well, remember when we did the container gardening? We didn't mention this kind of a container, but it works too. Yeah.
Actually, it really works.
And old tires aren't that hard to find.
Okay, so these are there. Let's see. We have Johnny Jump Ups. Are those?
Johnny Jump Ups are edible, and calendula.
Edible flower section of the garden.
So what's that big box there?
That is a compost bin. Dan, how does this thing work?
It looks up that side.
Okay. So this is like a greenhouse. There's nothing in it. Are we going to put weeds in this, or are we going to do actual compost?
Weeds as long as you don't have seeds in the weeds.
Okay. There's our compost bin.
And what exactly is compost?
Compost is decaying organic material, which once it starts decaying, it starts throwing off good nutrients that enrich the soil.
We have some strawberries over there. Got some strawberries, and I don't know how long. Like they'll grow. They're perennial, so they'll come back each year.
We've got a little green strawberry there.
Yep, there's little green baby strawberry. But we have this all along the side here, on this side of the children's room.
Oh, look, the one with blossoms. Now, down here, the white.
Oh, little blossom.
That's what they look like before they had fruit.
So
They're
this is what'll
pretty.
turn into a strawberry, each one of those flowers.
White blooms lead to delicious strawberries all season long.
Yeah, these are, I think they're called everberry strawberries.
Yep.
Most strawberry plants, they have strawberries in June and then they're done. But the everberry have strawberries all summer, which is nice, but you don't get as many at one time.
Yeah.
So you need lots of plants if you want to have strawberry pie.
So Mike built this, Mike Roberts. And Dan, what this galvanized? Were you here when he built that? Or did you help him build that?
Yes.
So I don't know where he got this. If he got the material, like if he had it, was it like?
No, he bought it all at Lowe's.
Okay. It's a beautiful little
And
garden
over
bed.
in Western, we got half the beds like that now.
Yeah,
So,
that's cool. Because they needed it at Western.
yes.
So, yep, so they did some planting in here. We have cucumber. Let's see, on this side. Radish. Turnips.
Zucchini.
Zucchini.
Are those little red leaves beets?
Those are, yes, I think so. Beets.
Yep.
Yep,
Red
so those
beets
are
even
coming
have
up.
some red leaves.
And we have some pumpkins, fairy tale pumpkins here. That'll be so cute. All right, so this is a children's garden. And now we'll walk. It's come a long way since last year.
Oh, yeah.
It's come a long way. Yeah, this nice playground that we just put in. You can bring your, kids over and garden. The community gardeners can kind of feel, like their kids can do something while they're gardening if they're, involved with them. Yes, let's walk this way.
Go through.
Now, Dan knows a little more what's planted here. Dan? Because I know is there gourds all over here and loofahs here?
Yes.
Okay, so here's our loofahs. They're not really, I don't know what's up with our loofahs. They're not easy to grow, are they?
They're slow to take off.
They're slow to take off. So
We'll start climbing here pretty soon.
Well, isn't that one over there climbing?
this one, here we go.
So she's going to go ahead and weave that up. It had grown along the ground. So she's going to untwirl it from the ground and have it climb up.
All up. Can it be full? There. Perfect. So it needs to kind of climb through.
See, that one's starting to get up there.
Yeah, that one's gone. I didn't really notice that. So we'll have some loofahs.
And this one. So eventually there'll be gourds all across all these arbors, and you'll be able to walk through them with the gourds hanging down.
So we'll come back and see them when they're there.
Yeah, for sure.
We've got quite a few rows of these.
Yeah, we do.
So when we come back through, you'll be able to see everything.
So around, fall time, we're hoping to have all kinds of different pumpkins and gourds growing over trellises. If you can hear me okay, it's kind of hard to kind of muffled.
Yeah, if you can't hear, sorry about that.
What's on here though? What is this?
Just your gourds. They'll start climbing here pretty
Those are
quick.
doing really good, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, over here, you guys, we have our kiwi trees.
One here.
Male,
That's the male.
the female. So,
Male will climb over the trellis to populate the female.
so we did move them. They were over there, right?
Yeah.
And we had to move them because it was true love. This one was trying to reach over to its love. We had to move them a little closer.
So there's some plants that have a male and a female, and other plants just flower and it's a male and female in the flower. But this actually has separate boy and girl shrubbery.
Yeah, pretty cool. Dan, is there golden over here?
Huh?
Isn't your garden right here?
My wife's garden's over there with the calendula. See all those yellow flowers?
Oh, she looks so pretty.
She's in the process of drying all those yellow flowers to make different types of salve.
Oh, that's cool.
Those calendula's got a lot of healthy properties.
Okay.
And they're beautiful.
Yeah.
So those are calendulum.
Calendulums. I was wondering.
You know, we talked about bulbs and onions. You can see the onion growing.
Can you see the onion growing? Last 2 weeks ago, was it, that we had some bulbs where you can see how the onion bulb grows in the ground. And that's what the top of the onion looks like. So when at the store, you're only buying the bottom. But here's all the tops.
Dan and Julie Humbridge. So this is just kind of this is some of our community gardeners here that have planted.
So these are people in the community have planted all these beautiful plants.
And they're definitely growing.
Yeah.
A happy garden this year.
Hey, Sarah, the garden we planted last time.
Oh, I know. That was what, 3 weeks ago? Something like that. 3 weeks ago. So we will
There's some
PALS
purple
TV,
lettuce.
we will check our garden that we planted in.
So there's green lettuce, purple lettuce. Isn't that neat the way it grows? It looks so cool.
It's so pretty. It's
Yeah.
wow, yep, these are peppers right here. Aren't they? Yeah, they're like what?
Those are little round peppers.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on. We have little round peppers here.
They're bell peppers.
Those are cool, huh?
Good cabbage,
Yeah.
purple cabbage, and green cabbage.
There you go. Good job. She's been paying attention.
I know.
You've been learning. Do you have your own garden?
No,
Yeah. Okay.
I have my mom pull the weeds at sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. There's lots of weeds this time of year, huh?
Yeah.
They'll keep you busy.
Okay, you gonna walk around? You kind of take a trip over
And
here.
there's tomatoes.
There's the tomatoes.
Tomatoes. Look at those tomatoes. There's some big green tomatoes.
Time for fried green tomatoes. There's a giant one in there.
Just in time for the you pick when everyone asks for green tomatoes.
These aren't ours. These
Okay.
are Bill Cisco.
Oh yeah.
But from the time you see that green tomato till it turns red seems like
Forever. We're all so impatient for those first tomatoes.
And then when they all turn red, you have more of them, then you know what to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like in the high tunnel.
I think
Yeah.
there's a fat did that.
A vet? Yeah. Yeah, so we have, I'm not sure exactly how many veteran gardeners we have, but they do get a free garden here. So probably I'd say 10 vets garden.
That's great.
Yeah. And so we put flags on each one to honor them.
You should make them a meal, Sarah.
I know, we have a cookout and we need to do that, but because of COVID, we're kind of like, we're not sure like everybody else. If we
And
can
you
do
can
that.
make them mask and stuff.
Yeah, I know. That was a good idea. Very
Yeah.
good idea. Very sweet.
Or you know,
Is this one funny?
Okay, we're gonna walk this way. Oh, look, we have some cucumbers growing under here.
We have cucumbers growing over here.
See?
They're
Yeah.
not ours, but
There's a blossom.
So the yellow flower turns into the
Green
green
cucumber.
cucumber.
And you can see from all of the blossoms, there's going to be a lot of cucumbers.
So this one got a little bit too big, and it's now a big giant yellow one. So that's probably not going to taste that great.
Well, they planted and then they replanted. So
Okay, gotcha.
the big stuff was planted earlier and the little stuff
Okay.
that's filling in is coming out real good.
Yeah.
So
Oh, good.
Lots of
That
corn.
way You have sweet corn for longer.
Yeah.
If you plant some and then you plant some 2 weeks later,
Some more
you have
corn.
sweet corn lasting longer.
Well, we had planted corn over, I think with a planted there 1 year, and it didn't do so well. And
Yeah.
I think it's the soil.
Peaches and cream
Um,
corn.
Yep, we have more. It says peaches and cream corn, ready August 10th.
I love peaches.
So that sounds pretty.
Oh, the
Good.
peaches and cream corn. It's going to have yellow kernels and whitish kernels.
Oh.
And it's really sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds
really
good.
Really good. I love sweet corn. Oh, we have. Is these tomatillos?
There's tomatillos over here. Now these aren't ripe yet. They won't be ripe until the husk turns brown. But if you take a look, it looks like a little pumpkin. And you open it up, and there's a little tomatillo tomato in there.
But Dan, is it a tomato or a pepper? I'm so confused.
It's a tomato,
Okay.
Is it really? Okay.
and they use it in sauces quite a bit. So if you feel it right now, it's real sticky.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one at this.
Yeah.
point, but it is.
But they're really cool. It's like a little lantern.
It feels like it's like those sticky glue things
Yeah.
that you post-it notes.
But like I said, they won't be ripe until this turns brown. Then you go in there and you can make all kinds of different kinds of sauces and sauces out of them.
Are they hot or not?
No, they're
Okay.
not. They're not hot. It's not like a pepper. It's like just a.
Oh, that's right. It's a tomato.
It's
Okay.
like a citrus tomato.
Oh,
Let's
wow.
put it that way. It's got different flavor to it.
Okay.
Then over here with all the blooms that you see, you got cucumbers here. You got butternut squash here. And over here, you got zucchini. I picked some yesterday that was starting to grow too big. One day they're small.
Oh my
the next
gosh.
day they get that big.
They grow so fast.
They do.
And what do you do with these, Sarah?
You make Grateful Dead zucchini bread.
There you
Oh, I've
go.
never heard of that.
I got some out in my car. So.
And my mom has a recipe at her refrigerator for some reason. I think she liked it too.
What?
Zucchini.
You guys,
Deep fried.
huh?
Deep fried zucchini.
Deep fried. Oh, there you go.
How do you guys like zucchini?
Bread.
Bread, me too.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's good. If you take that and slice it into wedges about that thick,
Yeah.
and then you dip it in egg wash, or flour first, egg wash second, panko bread comes third. Then you put it in the oven and bake it until the panko gets crispy. Serve it with a little ranch dressing.
Delicious.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
my
buddy.
favorite
Yeah,
way to
quite
eat
the set.
squash is that.
You know what else is good? Barbecue them. Put a little olive oil on it and some seasoning. Slice it long. Put it on the barbecue. Surprising how it changes the flavor and makes it really good. There's kind of a
The
normal.
more you pick, the more it'll grow.
So you always want to harvest a lot of zucchini. Don't let them get so big.
One of my favorite poems is about people putting zucchini in mailboxes because they have so much.
Speaking of zucchini and mailboxes, Sarah, we need to work on that project. What would you call it? It's like a little, you know how there's a little, what is that called? Like a house thing, a little
It's like a
nook or something.
Oh, a book nook.
like pantries, like vegetable pantries.
Yeah.
Like a leave what you can leave and take what take what
Yeah.
you need and leave what you can give or something.
Right. So we got to figure that out.
Yeah,
That
I've
could be
seen them done like really, really simple too, with just like
Yeah.
making them and just putting plexiglass
I
on.
know.
So yeah, they could kind of set up like a cabinet.
Yeah. So maybe that's something we can do when we get back to the greenhouse, or out.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I would love that.
Good
We have
social.
quite a few gardeners at church, and so we have a vegetable table
Yeah.
starting about now, where people bring their vegetables that they have too many of. And
Yeah. We need to do that.
people that don't have vegetables can take some vegetables
Right there.
home.
I see
Yeah.
it.
So gardeners can kind of weave things if they have too much.
Right. But we usually get more zucchinis than
There you go,
anybody can take home.
That's yours.
Wow! You got a zucchini!
She saw it.
Deep fried
Now look.
zucchini time. Oh my
This is
God.
how fast these things grow. You just got to keep picking at things. Nobody's checked these out. I've been out, not sick, but I had surgery a couple weeks ago, so I've been recovering. So Sarah hadn't been checking the beds.
I have not. You guys, I have not hardly been here. But I It will be soon. Okay, so what's over here, everyone? Please.
Watermelon.
Watermelon patch. You knew that, Sarah. No?
We haven't had watermelon coffee.
No, but it sounds amazing. I thought it looked like compost. Nope. I mean, it's a little messy looking right now, but I wonder where we have planted these, like.
You have to plant them far apart because they get so huge.
They vine like crazy.
Yeah, they vine.
They'll be all
We
over.
planted and then we had torrential downpours for 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
So we had to replant.
Yep.
And some of them took off and some of them didn't take off. So those vines will keep growing, so it'll be okay.
Yeah, I wonder if you could let that grow, make a canoe out of it.
You know what we did? I used to use the giant ones. I'd scoop it out and then I'd make zucchini dip and I'd use the big ones for the dip boat. Yeah, zucchini dip's good.
The Veterans Garden is really pretty.
Yes, this is. Definitely a new burner, but yeah, very, very pretty. Actually, this was my garden last year.
Yeah, it looks much better this year.
I know, okay. I mean, when you work at the gardens and then you have a garden within the gardens, you think it would be easy, but.
Gardening is one of those things you got to spend at least a couple hours every week on,
Mm-hmm.
or it'll get away from you. If it get away from you, might as well hang it up and start over again.
Mine had some milkweed and some herbs.
Oh yeah,
And
it's
that
a good garden.
rosemary, I don't know where that is.
But if you notice, this garden, the plastic stayed down nice,
But,
so you don't see any weeds penetrating it, so it looks very nice and clean.
it does.
Everything's growing really good. So
Yep. And it's really cute how they did that.
Mm-hmm.
Potatoes?
those are potatoes.
Look at the pretty flowers on the potato plant.
Is that them back there?
Yeah, right behind a little squirrely flag here.
So those are all potatoes. I did not know they got those pretty flowers.
Potatoes for flowers? Yeah, they bloom. Did not know that. Yeah. It was cute because the kids were here last week and they were smelling the flowers and the potatoes. So then, this is another.
This is one of our favorite beds over here, Sarah.
Yeah.
Her name's Matcha, and she's a Korean lady, and she grows a lot of, look at this stuff. I don't even know. It's some sort of curly leaf kale. And then she got collard greens here, cabbage
I
here,
miss her.
all different kinds of hot peppers. All this is going to go into something called kimchi, which is like Korean sauerkraut. Is the best way I can describe it. But it's spaced with a little tomato and a little chili pepper flakes in it to give it a little zing.
Is there cabbage?
This is collard greens there. I'm pretty sure this is cabbage here.
Trying to make a little baby cabbage in there. I don't know if you can see it. I've got a lot of shadow on it. But there's a little baby cabbage.
And then if you look up the very, very end, the soybeans, she grows her own soybeans to make her own soy sauce. Which
Really?
is, soy sauce is fermented soybeans.
So where's the soybeans?
Way up here at the end.
So she makes her own soy sauce. Wow.
These are soybeans here. Now they're just starting to set on the fruit now.
Cherry tomato.
Wow, look at all that.
She's very economical as far as planting stuff in between rows to get the most out of her garden space.
Wow.
Here's cherry tomato.
Yep, she grows all kinds of different tomatoes.
Is that citrus too?
Yep. Yep. You didn't have a choice.
Let's check out the potatoes. The barrel.
Oh, okay. Whoop, sorry to make you dizzy. So all the barrels, all the way down the fence line, have potatoes in them. And this is from the Together We Grow garden. And they will be giving these away at the U-Pick or sending them over to the food bank. None of these are flowering like those others that I showed you though. They're just kind of trying to get started. When you raise something in a pot, it's a lot easier for it to dry out. So you have to be really diligent. I showed them all the way down the other end and all the way up here.
Really, really well. This is probably March, mid-March. And they're Idaho potatoes. And how do you know when a potato is ready?
Mine dies back.
Ah, okay. So when you see them dying, that's not a bad thing at the end of the growing season. That's a good thing. It's time to harvest.
All right, they're doing really good. I'm going to ask you some questions. Did you have to like pull the potato out of the soil, or do they grow on like out on like a space? Yep. Okay. So you have to be really careful. Yeah. Huh.
I like potato salad.
My children will.
I made a potato salad yesterday.
Oh, you did? Oh, wow.
Lots of potato salad to be made. And
Yeah.
what are we going to do with these potatoes, Dan? What did we do last year?
Last year we had a biker rally for United Way. And they went around to 6 or 7 different stops, and we served them different food at different venues. And then they had their final meal out at the Moose Lodge out on 13.
Yep.
And they used the potatoes for the steak and potato dinner.
I'm doing a bike marathon too.
You're what?
I'm doing a bike marathon.
A bike marathon, okay.
Oh.
And I'm running the marathon too.
Oh, wow. You're a runner?
Yep.
Did we plant any purple potatoes this year? Did we do it? I don't think so.
Did we what?
Plant any purple potatoes?
Purple potatoes?
Yeah.
I know we planted Redskins and Yukon Gold. I don't know if Mike got any purple or not.
Well, last year we had purple potatoes, and I don't know. I went away for a couple months, so I don't know whether we made purple mashed potatoes or not.
I never saw any.
I was looking forward to
I feel like we
seeing
do
some
have
purple
them
mashed
somewhere.
potatoes.
At Lincoln, we might.
We try to plant a lot of different varieties just to keep it interesting. So.
And then at Everett, I feel like the purple ones are at Everett. Yeah, I remember that.
I see that Everett. Yeah.
You know where the skateboard park is over at Everett?
Have you been over there?
We got a garden right behind the skateboard park. Hey, Sarah, take them down to the PALS garden down there. They want to see their garden.
Okay, well, let's talk about us. We're walking down to the PALS garden. Let's talk to the
These are berries, and you can see they had pretty pink flowers on them, and that'll turn into a blackberry, I think.
You're loaded this year, aren't you?
Yeah, they just have tons of berries on them. That was that good pruning somebody did earlier this year.
You.
Maybe.
I pruned them last fall. I didn't prune them. I just cut out all the cane last fall.
I cut them down to a certain height. I looked it up. I Googled it.
Right.
And they said to cut them to a certain height and cut out the dead.
We need a little rain so they'll fill out, though.
Yeah.
Here, got some red ones coming out.
All right, we've got some red. Now this one actually, they're all different varieties. So this one's already setting up berries. And trust me, if you eat the red ones that are supposed to be purple, they're just hard and tasteless. You have to wait till it gets to be about like this.
Yeah.
And then you can pick it and eat it. If it doesn't smush in your hands, it's probably not ripe enough. There's some other ripe ones farther down. If you can't hear, we're heading down to the PALS garden. We did some planting with you all 2 weeks ago. Gosh, I don't remember, but everything's doing great. So we're going to head down there. As you can see, this is just a huge, huge garden.
This is Lillian Sanders. She takes good care of her garden. She grows a little bit of everything. She's getting a little bit older like me, so she likes the vertical garden so you don't have to bend over so much.
Beautiful. I love how she uses a, stuff like a light fixture or something.
Yeah, there's a
light fixture.
those are cages from industrial lights.
Then we got Ross as the assistant gardener.
There's some more of the berries. All along the fence line, there's berries. There's thousands of berries already setting.
Okay, here's your garden, pals.
So this is the PALS garden. Those are some of the plants that we planted last time. And I don't know if you remember, the tomatoes were kind of spindly and tall.
Yep.
And they have filled out and they're happy.
Yep, they have blossoms now. You can see some tomato blossoms to the close.
This one has some flowers on it. And each one of the flowers will turn into a tomato. There's a little tomato down here. What else do we have, Sarah?
We have peppers and tomatoes. A lot of peppers, a lot of tomatoes. But then what do we have right down here? Right here.
There's some onions in there. They're just
Oh yeah, they got a little weedy, but there's some onions in there.
onions and some, I think, triple kale.
So yeah, you never walk by a garden and not pick up a weed.
Yep.
It's just the way we do
Well,
things.
Let's see. Did we want to talk about, well, we have our fruit trees over here. And we were going to talk about pruning. When do we usually prune trees, Kim?
Actually, each tree is a little bit different and you need to look it up online.
Yeah.
What you have to read is, do you prune them in the fall? Do you prune them in the early winter? And then some fruit grows on second year growth. Some fruit grows on first year growth. So you have to know if you do a lot of heavy pruning and you prune off all of the current year's growth, next year it may not have a lot on it.
What does pruning mean?
What does pruning mean? Pruning means trimming the tree and cutting back, and you do it to bushes and shrubs, and you actually prune tomatoes sometimes too. You want to thin them out. But when you prune, for example, on this one, we would be pruning this one off because it's growing into all the others, if you can kind of see it. What you don't want is you don't want a lot of stuff crisscrossing and the branches crisscrossing. And for fruit trees, I like to keep them kind of low so you can reach them. And some fruit trees do very well that way. And so this one actually is starting to set some fruit. You can see it right there. I think we had a few little ones on there last time. But this is one you would want to cut off. And this one here, because it's all growing inward. And what you don't want is you don't want a bunch of stuff growing inward.
These are doing really well this year. Because they were just little tiny babies last
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the reason, what's the reason you don't want them going inward?
Because it actually kind of makes it too buggy. It's too much of a buggy. You can't get airflow through it. And it just makes it too thick. And what you want to do is you want to encourage the outward growth so that your trees are growing out on the outside.
Plus, if it grows too much inside, it's not going to get sunshine on the leaves.
There
Now,
you go.
can you over prune?
You can. The rule of thumb is if you're going to do a heavy pruning, don't take off more than 1/3 of the tree. And some trees may go into shock if you do too much. But overall, if you do a little bit too light of pruning, you end up having to prune a little bit more all the season long. Like this one, all these ones that are growing in, they probably could have come off earlier this year.
So, if I'm looking at this, it's pretty pruned. Pretty good, but I see maybe like, what would you do there?
See, that one's actually got its own air kind of in the middle here.
So like this one that's going crisscross.
That one you would take out. You take out the one that's kind of crisscrossing and going over things.
Found one. Let's look at this one. Let's see if we can find any that we need to prune. Let's trim.
Some trees have a naturally umbrella shape. Some trees have a more of a vine V-shaped shape. This one's nice and airy on the inside. It's a little lopsided, but it seems to be doing okay. You might want to.
We got ran over with the mower a few years ago.
You might want to take out some of this stuff that's popped up in the middle.
Yeah.
You want to encourage the growth on the outside so it can get lots of air and light on the inside.
How long has it taken for this tree to get to the size?
These have been here for like maybe 4 years. 4 years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Don't you
Yeah, that they started out quite small.
Yeah, very small. I mean, we
Mhm.
have a little
Yeah, if you're a little impatient, I recommend buying a little bit bigger tree so that you'll have some fruit a
that's
lot
the
quicker.
first fruit we've had is that little apple over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it takes a long time for some fruit trees to bear fruit.
I can't remember exactly which are right. They're all. I don't know. They're all
But if you take good care of your fruit trees and keep pruning them, they'll last for many, many years.
Oh, decades. And some fruit
Sometimes
trees.
generations.
Yeah, you can have trees for quite a long time.
Okay, what other? We have a Japanese maple over here. Is there any tips for that, Lou or Kim?
That one's very small right now. We're going to get over to it. You can barely see it because it's a pretty dark leaf.
Japanese.
So when something's this tiny, you really don't want to do much to it. It needs most of its leaves to continue to support its root system. So it's very, very small. It's got a dead branch up here. You could probably cut that off. And it's got an awkward shape to it right now, but you really just kind of need to leave it be until it actually puts out some more shoots and you can start pruning it. But pruning it right now would just remove whatever nutrients it's getting with the few leaves that it has.
But when you buy a little bush or a little tree like this, you really want to pay attention to how big it gets eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's one planted by my house, and the person that planted it really close to the house, and now it's so big that it's rubbing the house, it's covering the window.
A Japanese maple?
It would have, yes, a Japanese maple just like this. So it would have been a lot nicer if it had been planted farther from the house. But when it's little like that, you don't think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you've got a little tiny stick like that, you feel like you can put it close to the house. Always read up on how wide they get and how tall.
Because when it gets really big and beautiful, you don't want to have to move it.
That's expensive to move it, and it breaks your heart to cut it down.
Yeah.
This is last year's project.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a little fountain in the Zen garden. We didn't have that when we were here before.
And a lot of it was donated, like the gravel was donated. These rocks were donated, the kind of boulder rocks. Well, not boulders, but
they're from the church.
Yeah, those were donated from Kim from her church, and Melanie donated that.
Pea gravel, yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of cool how it came together.
It's a nice place to just come and sit and enjoy the garden.
And the fountain is solar, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a solar fountain.
So the sun is powering it, so you don't have to have electricity. Yeah.
Kind of nice on a really, really hot day. Yeah, the wishing well.
I just like to hear the sound of the water.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We have about 5 minutes left.
Okay, so let's kind of go over here to the shade. I think everybody needs a little bit of shade. What do you guys think?
I think shade would be good. We can see if anybody watching has some questions.
Yeah, let's see if anybody has any questions for the next few minutes.
So we've got a nice cover over here where we do barbecues and things like that. Yeah. There's Sarah's mom and Sarah's little girl.
This is what you do with this. You turn it into zucchini bread.
Oh my God.
Oh, he brought zucchini bread. Oh my goodness. Dan's the man.
So anybody wants to taste it, go ahead.
I'm going to be there
right here.
as soon as I'm done filming. What do you guys think, everybody?
Zucchini bread I've ever had.
This is just kind of torture for you all on the meeting.
It's really, really moist. So
Yeah. I know.
Is it good?
Yeah. Our U-Picks, by the way, are going to be starting the week of the 13th. So July 13th. Our
anybody
U-Picks
else?
start.
So U-Pick means that people can come and pick their own. Come to the gardens. You can look it up on the Facebook page.
Yeah, you can look it up on the Facebook page. There's going to be 3 gardens that are offering.
I'll take one.
You want some of this, Cam?
Yes, I do.
It's very, very moist. It's almost like bread pudding.
All right, guys. I'm going to make you feel bad. Oh, yummy, yummy. Oh, that's good.
I'll take some.
That's good.
Bread.
Rod's already had 2 pieces.
Oh,
There you go.
Did you like it? And raspberries.
We've had a breakfast.
I got more here if you want more.
No, is that your piece?
Do we have any questions from anyone? I know it's kind of close to our ending time.
So I saw that you had a lot of plastic coverage on the garden when you were doing the one garden. Is that something that you guys do on a lot of your in the ground gardens?
Plastic, plastic?
Yeah, the black plastic that you had
Yeah,
kind of.
we definitely recommend always laying that plastic because it just gets so, the weeds get so bad.
if you can afford it, it's better to use weed barrier because water goes through it and gets to your soil. But it's very, very expensive compared to plastic on this scale. But if
And
you
that
have
was
your
what I was going to ask was how do you balance the plastic with the water? Is there like a rule of thumb of how big of a hole to put in the plastic so that you make sure that you don't not get enough water?
Well, it's funny. Nobody really gives it a lot of thought. We have these little hole digger things and you stick it in the ground and things seem to be able to get enough water. But if you can be a little bit diligent on a smaller garden and do some weeding, you'd want to leave a fairly large circle around it just so it could get enough water.
And we leave grass that we mow in between a lot of them.
Helps to retain some of the moisture.
So that way the moisture can get down to the thing. You don't want to put plastic real close together too much.
Too much of it, and then you just have a bunch of runoff.
Good question.
Mm-hmm. Good zucchini bread. Are we all done?
Yeah, I think. Oh, we got one more question. Hold on, Caitlin,
Okay.
I got you.
I love zucchini bread too.
Oh, love zucchini. Sorry, we're tempting you now, and you can't even do a taste test with us.
Alex,
Come on
did you have
down.
a question?
I like your garden.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
The recipe. I will either post it on Facebook.
She'll try and post this recipe, by the way.
Yeah, it does. It looks delicious. Everybody was very jealous.
Yep. Well, we have done a lot of food for the garden. We've done a lot of demo meals and shakes and things like that with the participants. So unfortunately, it doesn't really translate very well to a Zoom meeting. But we really enjoy it here.
but we're glad to see you guys are enjoying the zucchini out there. So thank you guys for walking us through that. Learned a lot today. Enjoy the rest of the zucchini bread and have a great holiday. And thank you guys again for stopping by today.
All right. Bye-bye.
Everyone else, we're going to take a little break. We'll hop out of the room and start setting up for the next segment. But you guys feel free to hang out and socialize. I'll let you guys take yourselves off of mute. So we'll see you guys soon. Thank you.